Devin's going to handle this. We got.
See you guys.
You guys take care.
Hey there.
Thank you very much.
It's all you.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
we're here. This is Ted. Now,
We're like going right away.
well, yeah. We're live. We're live on the internet right now. We're showing off. This is. We're recording and we're live and we're recording. Hey, look at this. So I am live and being recorded on one of the rarest cameras in the world right now. This is a fixed lens. It's got a fixed 8 zoom. It's a 8 times zoom. Let's lose some of the noise here. I just wanted to show this camera off. Like I think it'd probably be better if you explained why this camera is special, because our viewers are probably thinking like, well, what makes this camera different from a 7D or like a Canon camcorder you get for $1,000. So what's going on here?
I'll give you my little case. So this is fundamentally different than anything you would see here at CES. This is a professional motion picture camera.
Yeah.
That lives in the palm of my hand.
And by professional, you mean really something that it's on the level of $100,000 cameras out there, kind of thing.
The only thing you could compare this to in terms of image resolution are devices that are $100,000 to $300,000.
Right.
Or a Red One, which is obviously a lot less than that.
Right.
So the only thing that really compares to this in terms of what it does for a living is a Red One. This is like the junior version of an Epic. An Epic is our super high-end 5K camera. This is a 3K camera that's super affordable and designed for the indie filmmaker community, specific to 3D, specific to if you're not going to burn, say, 30 to 40 grand on an Epic system, you're going to pay probably between maybe a little under $6,000 for a camera like this that blows away everything in its price range and blows away everything else except a Red One or an Epic.
Right. So let's what makes it blow everything else away? I'm familiar with the system and stuff like that, but our viewers might not be. It's got a high resolution, but people will think, well, my camera takes stills that are large. It does 1080p. It does something more than that. Like, what makes this a professional camera versus something that somebody might pay $1,000 or $1,500 for?
So for us, 1080p is a broadcast delivery standard for today. It's not a professional acquisition standard.
Right.
So this camera shoots far and away higher resolution than 1080p or 2K. This shoots 3K, and then we derive a professional level HD or beyond image from that high resolution acquisition. And then our Red One shoots 4K, which is even higher, and our Epic shoots 5K, which is exponentially higher. But this device is designed to target into the market that will use this for professional
actual filmmaking. And I'm familiar with the quality of these. I told you my friend Mike Reagan has been shooting red for years, since the beginning. And I know that the quality of the image is very high. And for instance, when I shoot with, I just reviewed the Canon T2i. It's a great DSLR that shoots great video. But once you've shot the video, it's 1080p. It's already been compressed. It's already at the frame rate 24p or 30p. But this has got way more depth, way more color depth, way more frame rate options, way more everything, basically.
Yeah. Well, when you think about it, when you shoot with those cameras in still mode, they're incredibly sophisticated devices, super high resolution, and they do a wonderful job.
And that's what they're made for.
That's what they're made for. When you dial them into video mode, just because it says 1080p doesn't mean you're actually getting 1080p. That's the bucket, right? That's the holder that they put their resolution in video in, but the actual resolution of those cameras is far lower than 1080p, interestingly enough. It's actually around or a little lower than 720p when you actually measure the resolution.
You're doing all the mathematics of the physics of everything.
Right. Which is why the pictures look okay for the web and okay for a small screen, but it's really challenging to try and use those professionally. And by the time you kind of try and trick it out to make it a professional piece of gear, you end up spending a lot of time, a lot of energy jerry-rigging this thing when you really should just be shooting with a red.
Not professionally video, but professionally film, I think you should make.
Yeah, and professional for film. Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of you guys probably know that there are a lot of films, a huge amount of films being shot digitally, and I know and there are actually a lot that are being shot on Reds right now.
Tons, yeah.
Did Peter Jackson just pick up like 30?
He did. So you've got David Fincher, who did Social Network on Red Ones.
And Zodiac, too. Didn't he do a Zodiac on?
Zodiac was pre-red. That was shot on a different camera, an HD camera.
Oh, yes, on a Genesis.
It's actually interesting you bring that up. It's kind of an interesting topic because that was sort of a tactical error in time for a guy named like David, because previous to those movies, he shot his movies on film, which is a high-resolution acquisition format.
Of course.
Then he shot a couple in HD with HD cameras when that was sort of all that was there for electronic, and he's a very forward-thinking guy. But now he's locked into that low-res picture for quite a long time, right? I mean, it can never be 4K, whereas if he shot it on film, he could up-res it to 4K. Something important going on?
We just got some questions. We're live, of course, and we're on Twitter. And if you have any questions, it's absolutely live right now. It's broadcasting right now to many people. And if you guys have any questions, remember to ask. It's at #CrunchGear. If we have you for a couple more minutes, So here's a question: differences between a movie camera and a RED camera. Like, what's the difference between say something that you might buy for $100,000, like one of these high-end things from Sony or Alta or whatever. Alta. Oh, I don't know if they actually.
The brand.
Yeah, and what's the difference between them and not necessarily it's a Scarlett, but let's go with the Scarlett.
Yeah. Well, the big difference is all of those cameras are glorified HD video cameras. That's what they do for a living. They do a good job at that, but they're not really cinema level tools. The only thing that's truly cinema level is either a 35mm film or a Red One or an Epic, and this is of that caliber, but just a little bit lower. So this would be more considered sort of like 16mm film, whereas the Red is considered like 35mm film in terms of its quality, and an Epic is beyond 35mm film. Is that a good way to explain it?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Hold on.
Yeah, can we do a giveaway of the Scarlett?
This is actually good to hold up this because then people can see the size.
Oh,
Everyone knows how big an iPhone
This is about. Yeah. So. And do you mind? Could I have the
remote control?
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the red mode. I haven't seen one of these. Mike doesn't have one. What's the resolution on the EVF?
On the LCD?
Oh, the LCD rather. That's not.
I think it's 1,000 lines, a little over 1,000 lines, but you're kind of asking the wrong guy.
Yeah,
I'm the big strategy guy, but right. I'm pretty sure it's 1,000 lines.
Would it be all right if I hefted this thing?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, can you mind? Can you hold the mic for a second? Thank you. I'm very careful with this kind of thing.
Like if you touch one of these buttons, it's like Gremlins. Something very strange could happen.
Right. I know how this thing happens.
Not a shipping camera yet.
So yeah, it's let's see. How much does this weigh? Like I want to say like
it's about
8 pounds. Or 6 pounds. Okay.
The body's about 4.5 pounds. In this configuration, 6 to 7 pounds.
And then what's the story with the? I can't remember whether the interchangeable lens version is still happening.
Yeah, that's still happening.
So that'll work with red primes, and then you can get adapters for Canon and stuff like that.
A set of micro level red, what we call miniature primes, and we're doing all kinds of stuff. And we can also use Canon and Nikon lenses on the interchangeable mount version of this.
And then so here we have. The zoom is controlled.
Yeah, the zoom is actually controlled by a rocker. I actually have that turned off now.
Oh, okay.
It's just in wide angle mode, but you can see.
But if you can imagine an 8x zoom on your average camera, that's what we're looking at.
It's quite wide on this end. It's about 28 mil, and it goes well beyond 200 mil at the full telephoto.
Nice.
It's a very, very flexible lens.
And how fast? What's the F or T numbers on those? I can't remember which you guys use for.
It's a FT4 total across the range.
Okay.
I have it set at T5 at an f-stop of T5 right now.
Right. And can you tell us about low light ability?
Yeah, you're looking at it.
Well,
I tell you, there it is.
We are looking at it, yeah, and it is producing a good image here.
But check this out. That's 2,000, right? There's 2,500, 32, 4, 5, 6,400. Now I actually have to iris down because I've got it so high. So now I'm shooting in here.
And this is at ISO. For those of you guys who can't read it, it's at ISO 12,800 right now. And so now, of course, we've all seen our these point and shoot cameras that go up to ISO 28,000 or something like that. What's the difference between that and this? For our readers who are following.
Look at how good and clean that picture is, and I'm not even close to wide open on this lens, and it is crazy dark in here. The camera is seeing brighter than we see with our eyes.
I love it when that happens.
It's fascinating, right? Yeah. And look at that guy.
There's no firewire out by chance, is there? Because we could
beam it in there.
Oh, okay.
Dang, we could get the first broadcast live red signal. Here's the phone. So let's see. Maybe we'll take a couple more questions.
Nothing short of stunning. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, and I know that they've really worked on that in the next generations of the sensors and stuff. I remember the original Red One was good, but not great, and now we've got this. This was a major issue.
Yep. Yeah, the original Red One was a very moderate ASA device, 320 to 500 ASA. The new Red One with what we call the MX or Mysterium X chip is very comfortably rated anywhere from 320 to 2000 or 2500 ASA. And then in an Epic, we can push it even further. You just saw me take it all the way up to 12,000 ASA. Very comfortable to drive this camera anywhere between 320 and 4,000 or 5,000 ASA without issue.
And the result is you can shoot in very, very, very dark conditions and still get a very clear image without the noise.
Correct.
And you can shoot and you can get really deep blacks without without the little artifacts and stuff popping in. And there's a lot of dynamic range too. That's a very important thing about these having a digital cinema camera as opposed to just a video camera.
You got it.
All right. So any last questions or any last words?
Who started Red?
Sure.
Yeah. So can you give me like the sort of canned speech about how Red started up in case some of our readers?
The 30-second history lesson?
Give me the history lesson.
So you're familiar with Oakley, right?
Yes, of course.
They make sunglasses like this and lots of other stuff. So the founder of Oakley is also the founder of Red. His first name is Jim. Very, very forward-thinking guy. Very, very camera and optics oriented. So these happen to be a set of Oakley 3D glasses. So even though we're separate companies and Jim started Oakley and now he started Red, there's all kinds of good buddy
crossover. Yeah.
So this is 3D,
looking good.
And these cameras, lo and behold, are perfect for 3D. In fact, a lot of the really big movies that are being shot with the Red ones and the Epics are being shot in 3D now. So like the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie that's coming out in a few months, that's a Red movie shot with Red ones. There's a really, really big action movie. Because it's still kind of in the works, I'm not allowed to tell you the name of it because I'm the press guy. But
it's not Green Hornet, is it?
It's not Green Hornet, but Green Hornet actually shot some pickups and some reshoots on the Red. They shot that with film, and then they married the two together, and it was totally seamless. You talked to the DP, said the Red was literally the only choice. Couldn't have used any of the other video cameras, so you had to use a Red, a high-resolution camera, and made it completely seamless between the two.
Nice. Okay,
there's another big action movie that's...
Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye out for us. So one last final question. What's the battery life on this thing? Assuming you're shooting all the time.
Which is a little battery in the grip, will probably run about an hour, give or take, depending on the style of shooting that you're doing and whatnot.
Right. And that is pretty much how we want to leave it. Thanks, Ted, for meeting with us. And this thing is awesome, and I can't wait to see more of them out there. Hell yeah. That's the only way we do it. Okay, so... let's. If you guys have somewhere else to move on to, let's go and do that. I want to get some pictures of this thing, if that's all right.
Yeah, we're gonna go drive the GM Envy vehicle.
Nice. Go drive it.
Bye. Thanks so much, Ted. Really appreciate it.
All right.
You ready? Devin, is this your camera bag?
No, this is Kyle.
No. Oh, Kyle.
Oh, it's yours.
Oh, sure. We'll just walk off. Okay. We should have taken it.